This is D. Orlando Ledbetter with Sideline Mike and Tobias Wilborn with the Bowtie Sports Podcast. Everything you need to know about the Atlanta Falcons. Before we get into it, today's title is a position-by-position look at the Atlanta Falcons offense. Next week, we'll go to the defensive side of the ball. But before we get going here, need you all to do a couple things. We need you to go to bowtiesports.com. There we go. We're calling it up there. We don't want to stay, but we want to go to bowtiesports.com and sign up for the Ledbetter at Large newsletter. We need you to do that. That's free. And tell your friends to sign up for the newsletter that comes into your mailbox every Thursday at 10 a.m. After you do that, I need you to go over to YouTube and subscribe and like the podcast at Bowtie SG. That's Bowtie Sports Guy. But I got a lot of backup here. Got some power hitters and Tobias Wilborn and Sideline Mike. We go over there and like. We got to get our first 1,000 people in there as we grow this community. And then we need you with training camp starting on Friday. The folks that will subscribe, we got a great deal going right now. We're giving you the annual fee, which is $81 for the year. We're knocking that down to $27.99 in our training camp special. We want to, by the end of training camp, build up our fundamental base of our community so we can get going into the season and give you all the coverage that you all want. We're moving a lot of things over from the AJC to bowtiesports.com, and we need some support to do all of that. You know, the podcast. We want to travel to the games. We'll be out at practice. But yeah, we need some subscribers to make all of that happen for you. So go over to bowtiesports.com, sign up for the newsletter, subscribe and like the podcast, and then subscribe to the website. All right, with that, got some business that we need to take care of. Let's go ahead and get down to it. Guys, let's start off with the running back situation. You know, Tyler Algier left in free agency. Went to the 49ers. They signed Brian Robinson. So, you know, Bijan's all-pro back and Brian Robinson. What does that 1-2 punch look like to you, Sideline Mike?
Well, when you look at what we lost a great player, and I'm glad we were able to get him to a situation where he could actually put his talents to a good use. But when I tell you, when you look at Brian Robinson, this kid is not a step down. He is a what I would call a parallel move. He's a one cut back that's going to give us that thunder and lightning approach that we've been used to seeing over the past couple of years. So I'm excited about him being here.
What about you, Tobias? How do you see that 1-2 punch?
Well, it better be good considering what you got at quarterback or don't have yet, but I guess we'll see. We'll get there later. Yeah. It better replicate the production from the last couple of years from Algier and Bijan. By the way, I have to say this. It would be a shame if Bijan Robinson's time is wasted in Atlanta. He has earned the right to wear the number he wears in that black and red. He has earned the right to carry that legacy on, and he has done it well. Unfortunately, the franchise has not met him to his level. We'll see if they can do it this year, but he's special. I think Robinson's going to benefit from being with him. I think they're going to continue to be one of the best backfields in the NFL.
No question about it. When he came out, they compared him to LaDainian, Barry Sanders, and Marshall Faulk, and I was like, whoa. And so I was like, if he gets halfway there, he's on. You know, they got a great running back. And we've seen all of that in the first 3 years. And last year when he started hitting the 90-yard home runs, that was a missing piece. He was able to do everything, carry the load, and then hit the home run. So
and he can catch.
Yeah, out of the backfield like
backfield. That's very. Mm-hmm.
But always remember, when we're talking about hitting that home run, the only way you hit that home run is if you got wide receivers down the field blocking. Mm-hmm. And that's what finally happened this year.
Yep, no doubt. Drake London sprung him on that one against the Rams. That was no question about that. Yeah. Hey, and then the backup guys, people know who Tyler Goodson is. He played at North Gwinnett, went out, had a good career at Iowa. They signed him as the third back. And Nathan Carter was did pretty good in the exhibition season last year, and they kept him as the third back.
That should be a fun position battle, D-Lad. I mean, and there are not really a lot of position battles in the NFL as much as we would like to believe, particularly us scribes. You know what I'm saying? But in this situation, I think it will be pretty neck and neck between those two. And one thing about my man Goodson, hey man, if you were able to leave from Atlanta, Georgia, and go to Iowa and be successful, you're gonna be all right anywhere you want to be. And that'd be a very nice homecoming for him. I imagine he sees some things that he's not seen in a while.
Absolutely. He's figured out some things about life if he made it in Iowa and made it back.
Yes, brother. But hey, he gets to come back home and play for hometown franchise. I don't know if he was a Falcons fan growing up, because I mean
that's one of those training camp stories we'll get to. But hey, that's not running backs. That's not a big group. So they didn't sign a bunch of UDFAs. So we just have 4 people. Before we get to the big meaty question of the offseason, let's take a commercial here from the Morgan Stanley, the Fears Group.
The Bowtie Files is proudly presented by the Fears Group at Morgan Stanley in Atlanta. Led by Sonia Balfour Fears, certified financial planner, the Fears Group helps athletes, entertainers, and families build wealth that lasts beyond the headlines. With retirement planning, philanthropy, and global sports and entertainment expertise tailored to your stage of life. Map your future with a team that takes the long view. Call 470-449-0812 or visit advisor.morganstanley.com/The Fears Group. The Fears Group at Morgan Stanley, supporting your goals every step of the way.
All right, we're back here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast, and we're going to move right to the quarterback situation, the elephant in the room heading into training camp. Where's Michael Penix? I did the update. It's 9 months, August 25th, so I'm not expecting him to start camp on 11. But, if he comes back August 25th, that's when the competition would start. Then they play on the 13th. So, they went inside Tua. You got Trevor Siemian, and then you got Jack Strand, a big Division 2 kid out of Moorhead, Minnesota Moorhead, who put up some big numbers up there and so forth. So that's the guy we're going to see in the exhibition season. That's why I kind of include him in and give him a lot of run early on, because the people are going to wonder who this kid is. They're
gonna know him for too long. It'll be okay. He ain't gonna be that long. It'll be a quick stay. But
for the Strand family in Minnesota, they'll be happy that.
Well, shout out to them. Shout out to them. When I cover preps, one of the things that I learned from you was always make sure you spell that kid's name right, because sometimes you only get the newspaper 2-3 times in life. Well, I guess it's back when you had newspapers. I guess we won't do that no more. Yeah, but you scored a touchdown in a high school football game. You're born and when you die. And so make sure you get those names right. So you're right on that. Shout out to that. But I don't think we're going to see him too long. So Falcons fans don't have to worry about that too much.
Yeah, my guy Tim Watson got drafted in the 5th round by the Packers, played at Howard. So, of course, I had to write a whole story about him. 30 years later, we see him at the alumni banquet. He's like, I still got that story on the wall.
But that matters. I mean, because, again, think about it. Like in the history of NFL, you look at how many people have ever even gotten to a practice roster, have even gotten a camp combine out of all the people who play sports, all the people who play football every year. It's still special. Yet there's levels to this. And so with these levels, the Atlanta Falcons, went out and got their quarterback, Michael Penix, who has had an injury history going back to his high school years in Tampa. He has only completed 2 football seasons since his sophomore year in high school down there at Tampa, He's only completed 2 full football seasons. Now, one of those seasons was at UW where he took them to the national championship game. But even then in that national championship game, he looked worn down, He has had injuries going back to Indiana. I remember when I was covering Penn State for the Post-Gazette, I saw him play live. This was during the quarantine time. And I had not known much about him, but it was very clear by the end of that day that he single-handedly put that Indiana team on his back. That was before the Indiana that we know now that just won the national championship. That was still Indiana. You didn't think about them in football. And he built that program. In fact, Penix does not get enough credit for building that program, by the way. We talk about Kirk Cinetti, but Penix going up there from Florida and what he did really helped set the path for what they became. That being said, the Falcons went out and got a guy who has been injured, drafted him number 1 after having Kirk Cousins and all that stuff with Kirk Cousins. And then for their injury-prone quarterback, they go out and get the concussion machine, Tua Tagovailoa, who, again, has had a good career. Sure, he's a nice man. I mean, we'll see as we get to know him more, as we cover him. But he's got injury issues. So your starter has injury issues. The guy who you brought in to compete with him may have more injury issues than him. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm. And so then your backup there is Trevor Siemian. But I want to go to Sideline Mike on Tua because we know the concussions, we know the history. We had Omar Kelly on to break down his arm strength and all the issues he had last year. But shown in his best light, 44 and 38, 2 trips to the playoffs. That's who the Falcons want to see if he's got to start the season for him. They don't want to see the guy who couldn't get it down the field last year, Mike. You can go back to his Georgia days and what's your whole book on him, and if the Falcons going to get to see, the good Tua versus the one that, was running in the linebackers and whatnot.
So when you talk about my Georgia days,
yes,
you talk about one play.
One play. Look right there.
Alabama. And he got the ball down the field on that play, brother.
Yes, he did.
Yes, yeah. So when you look at Tua and you look at the offense that they're bringing, and you look at the importance of the tight end, and you look at how quickly Tua gets the ball out of his hand, that's the intriguing part about this concussion machine. Okay. Now, I know
what year was that, Mike? When he did that in that game?
2018.
I didn't have gray hair in my beard then.
Oh, brother. Okay.
I'm just throwing it out there. I didn't have gray hair in my beard, and I was about 30 pounds lighter. So,
hey, brother, weren't we all?
Weren't we all? Yeah. I didn't have all these sprinkles in there either.
I've been here for a minute though. I came home a long time ago.
Right. I'm just saying, man. I didn't have no gray back then.
They asked us to give them context, so Mike's giving us context.
It's been a minute.
Okay. That's all I'm saying. I'm throwing it out there. Throwing it out there.
It's been a minute, but when you look at what you have, and you look at your quarterback is left-handed, and you look at Tua Tagovailoa, and you look at his price tag, when it comes down to it, it comes down to the money and what he could sign for and what he could be as a bridge. Because I'm not looking for Mr. Penix to be back until mid-season. Because one thing you got to understand. Everybody doesn't heal the same. I don't know where they get these timetables from. On 9 months from the injury, 10 months from the injury. We all know, even with an ACL, you're not yourself until the next season. Mm-hmm. Your first season is psychological. Your next season is physical. So at the end of the day, they wanted to bring some continuity to this offense. And in the next segment, we will talk about why it's really not going to matter who's playing quarterback.
Hey, man, but here's the thing with Penix, man. That man has had 3 knees, okay?
And a shoulder.
3. No. But just stop there. 3 knees. Your body only come with 2 sideline, Mike. You only get 2 knees. He's had 3.
Right.
I mean, but look at this. Going back to 2018, he had a season-ending ACL injury. Going back to 2018, and that was in Indiana. 2019, dislocated SC joint. 2020, another season in the ACL. 2021, separated his AC joint.
Right, that's the shoulder.
In 2021, that was in 2021. Now he played in 2022. We're not even going to get into his Falcons injury history.
But
I'm just saying, man, that man's got a skeleton. Like when they show him, they show the skeleton. You don't want to show that skeleton on you, man.
And to put a bow tie on your point, this regime did not draft him.
They did.
I'm just putting it out there.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that the Falcons, man. Good Lord.
Let me do the timeline because I got my information wasn't from the Falcons doctor. We asked for Dr. Hammond, they wouldn't give us the doctors like they used to. But Dr. Nawabi out of New York, and it's been in our news letter and in our Cover 99. It's like, hey, Coach Kevin won't give a timeline. Here's the timeline I got. You get the date of that surgery. Right. 9 months is August 25th, and Dr. Nawabi said 9 to 12 months. So that would put him in the middle of the season. But he said, hey, elite athlete with top doctors and top rehab and recovery, you could hit 9 months.
Well, he is used to coming back from injuries, to be fair. I mean, he's had a lot of experience since high school coming back from injuries.
Well, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to hit 9 months.
He is the rehab king now.
I mean, he would know how to do it. He's had more injuries than UGA football players have had speeding tickets.
So there you go. So 9 months or 9.
Oh, hey, you had to wait for that one. You had to catch that for a minute, right?
That's okay. We only had one this summer, so we're improving.
Oh, okay, fine.
Only one.
Well, that's because half the guys were the transfer portal, but that's
so. Are you comfortable with starting? Are y'all comfortable with starting the season with Tua as the starting quarterback?
No, but they're gonna. No.
It's not like you have a choice. You can talk yourself into anything, and we are talking ourselves into being comfortable.
I'm not. I ain't gonna tell the people that lie.
All right, with that, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back and get into the wide receiver tight end group here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast. They look at the Atlanta Falcons offensive side of the ball, position by position.
Looking for a night that actually feels like one? Step into the Patio Social Club, Atlanta's destination for sultry music, stirring conversation, and a one-of-a-kind open-air cigar lounge where time slows down and every conversation lands a little deeper. Inclusive excellence is in everything they do. Reserve your spot tonight. Call 470-815-1860 or find them online. The Patio Social Club. Escape, unwind, and take the night somewhere different.
All right, we're back here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast, and we're going to move on after that pretty hardy discussion of the quarterback
exchange.
Training camp. And, hey, the wide receivers got paid this offseason. Drake London, 4 years, 141, could get up to 150. Kyle Pitts, franchise tagged him at first, then they thought about it and said, hey, we might as well, take him, break him off this 3-year, $54 million deal, $36 million guaranteed. So the top two offensive pass catchers are locked up for the next couple of years. Y'all don't think anybody will be able to get him the ball, so it won't matter. But
listen, Kyle Pitts can thank Matt Ryan for getting him that deal. All right, Matt Ryan's on the field every day, looking at the offense, looking at everything. Saying Michael Penix got to
and all of Matt Ryan's executive experience, all his years of working as an executive and worked his way up. That's right, he didn't.
Hey,
sorry, I just had to throw it out there.
Hey, the truth will set you free.
Matt Ryan and his wisdom that he learned from Rich McKay, who they said was not running football operations for the second time after they removed him from the second time for running football operations. But I digress.
So those guys are paid.
I digress.
So those two guys are paid, and then they signed Jahan Dotson in free agency. And Nubash, you covered him at Penn State. Looked it up. He's a 4.43 guy. Did his stats. He didn't have any drops in 33 and 36 targets in Philly the 2 years, but in Washington he was a drop machine. He had 6 the 1 year and 8 the next. What do you have in Jahan Dotson, and can he step up and be the number 2 receiver?
Well, I mean, he was a top guy at Penn State on a really interesting roster that he had, that they were very competitive in the Big Ten under James Franklin. He had some issues with drops in college. The real concern with him is that 4.43 used to be a lot faster not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? And he's not the biggest guy. And when you are a guy of his size and you're not a speedster in today's standards, you have to catch the ball, especially coming across the middle. And we will find out what that's going to be. I like Jahan as a person. I enjoyed covering him at Penn State. Really a mature young man, very smart, very cerebral. So he'll be able to figure it out. Also, he did go to a pretty bad situation up there in Washington, considering what was going on at the time. He got out. I think he was better in Philly, which was closer to actually where he grew up. Curious to see how he enjoys Atlanta. I think he'll have a good time because that also, as we know, enjoying Atlanta could go a lot of different places for pro athletes.
Yeah, they haven't had that problem lately with them being way out there and them taking up their time. And they got Kevin Winston back to help them with
shout out to K. Winston.
The fixer.
Yep. But Mike, what can Zachariah Branch be more than a slot guy? I mean, we saw the bubble screens, and is he probably your punt returner, kickoff returner?
Absolutely. He is a Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to see probably his best opportunity to produce on special teams as a punt returner and kickoff. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the other guys, they signed Alameda Zacchaeus, Austin Hooper, bringing back Matt Ryan show guys again. But they're depth guys, and Charlie Warner's blocking tight end. But Alameda has been a good guy. I know he's seventh. He was an undrafted guy out of Virginia who's carved out a nice little career for himself. And then Hooper was a two-time Pro Bowler before the Falcons decided they didn't want to sign him. And then he's bounced around the league and with the Patriots last year, but give you some quality depth at those two positions, I believe.
Absolutely, and it can continue to teach Mr. Pitts how to be a pro.
Yeah, no doubt
well,
about it.
I mean, the thing for me with Kyle Pitts in particular, you mentioned him. He shows these flashes, man. He shows these flashes of brilliance, and then he does things. Now, I've not been around that team daily, so I do not know his practice habits. So I want to be very careful how I speak. I'm only speaking from what I've seen in games. I hope to be around practice soon and do some more digging to where I can really get a better grasp on him as a person. I want to be careful. But sometimes in the games, man, he just be looking like his mind is just other places.
Well, that the other thing to his credit or detriment, he was 19 when he came in the league.
Yeah, that's real.
19 years old.
He drifted, and the quarterback situation wasn't like he's playing with Montana.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's fair.
And on top of that, at Florida, he never played tight end. Man, that man was an ex-receiver. But everybody, the media wants to make him out of tight end. That kid never. There's no tight end in Florida's offense. And Mullen, come on, man.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not, and I think that's the other part because again, like playing tight end in the NFL still requires blocking. It still requires doing it, especially in the running situation. I think people don't really factor that in the run blocking and even the pass blocking when the ball is not coming to you and all the things. And when you have to switch over, you have to know the protections, you have to know the run schemes, and it is a lot to learn. Yep. And there were just times in which Kyle looked a little lost out there, especially in his early career. I think he's gotten better. We're going to see how he handles getting paid because D-Leg, like I know, and Sideline Mike, too. Absolutely. Man, hey, you put enough money in your brother's pocket. I think, what was the boxer? Had the quote about it's hard to get up in the morning when you next to a fine woman on satin sheets. Silk you know what I'm saying? You got the silk sheets and the little all the nice cotton robes and all the fancy stuff. I think it was Marvin Hagler had that quote about how it's much harder to get up and train when you're in softness.
You know what I'm saying? All I can say is the question is, in the words of the great Bomani Jones, do you want to be a legend on the field or do you want to be a legend at the bank? We're going to find out.
Right. And Bomani and Nubias are both Clark Atlanta grads. I think he was.
Yeah. Bo was a year ahead of me at CAU, man.
Oh man,
I didn't have them in my class, but they were a couple of my Clark. I didn't have
his parents live here. Yeah, they live here. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Hey, everybody cool with Drake getting market value for wide receiver. Garrett Wilson got his money last year, and I asked Drake about it. He said he let his agent handle it, and he did.
I have no problem with it. I have no problem with him getting his money. I have no problem with anybody getting their money. We'll talk about salary as we get further into this. We'll get into my thoughts on the salary cap and why I think it shouldn't exist at all. But
nor the draft. But go ahead.
Nor the draft. Oh, don't get me started on that now.
Oh yeah.
We can go some places on the draft and why it should not exist in the way it does, and how the salary cap is wage suppression. But I digress. We'll get there another day, another time.
Where he's going with that.
But based upon the parameters, Cal. I mean, because also you do. Now, it's hard for me to say this because at some point the Atlanta Falcons have to establish themselves. They're ever going to be a worthwhile organization, which they historically have not been. I mean, historically, they've never won. I mean, I think that's fair to point out.
But if they for the glory days from 08 to 16 there, buddy.
And they ended it with how many championships did come of it?
Yeah, the same many they got in the other 30 years before.
Right. Well, I guess to be fair, they did not get a defensive back locked up the night before the Super Bowl after he won the Christian Man of the Year award.
Can we ever live that?
Yeah,
Man of the Year. But go ahead.
Christian Man of the Year, and he gets called at the.
That's 30 years ago.
Hey, look,
and yet it's still there.
Color analyst for Carolina. All right, give him a break.
Yeah, no, he ain't getting no break. And that's where the Falcons history started. But anyway, to start. I mean, we can do a whole podcast on Falcons history.
The wide receiver.
Look, and we're not even going to mention the dogfighting, tax evading quarterback.
When the stakes are high and the deadline is real, you need a partner who can move the work forward. That's Marietta Project Management, LLC. Specializing in expert corp-to-corp project management, MPM helps companies deploy solutions, manage change, and deliver results without the chaos. From scoping to handoff, they own the outcome. Visit MariettaPM.com to start the conversation. Marietta Project Management. From plan to delivery, done right.
All right, we're back here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast, and we're gonna move on to the offensive line. We're not gonna let you just drive off the highway.
My bad, we ain't gonna beat them up this day.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on point here. I gotta do my job as the host and producer. We're gonna finish up here. We're gonna talk about the line. They got some issues there. We got another break. Then we wrap it up about training camp and. Make sure we remind the people to sign up for the newsletter. Go to YouTube, like and subscribe, and then go and get your training camp special discount as we are moving forward here at bowtiesports.com. The Bowtie Sports Podcast. First time the group's been together, and we are just trying to give y'all a good show today. That's all.
Chop it up, man. Chop it up.
Chopping it up.
We gotta have fun, man.
I'm gonna keep them together. We're gonna keep focused on the offensive line here.
That's a bad place to focus. Lord, they look like they like one of the Packers heads with the little.
Let me set it up for you, and you can go where you need to go. You got two issues up there. One of them's Ryan Newsel, who was great, who was a good run blocking grade, but not a pass pro grade. And you got a right tackle where you got to find a replacement for Caleb McGarry. You got a replacement that you got to find for Storm Norton. So those are your top 6 spots.
Yep.
Jake Matthews fine. Matt Bergeron's fine. Newsel has got improved pass blocking. You got one of the best guards in the league. At a right guard in Lindstrom. And then at right tackle, you got the guy that's had 55 penalties in 3 years at Kansas City. But they like him and they think they can fix it. So I'll just start with you, Mike, on Newsel, and you get ready for the tackle situation.
I always say this, Bill Callahan, you got to make chicken salad out of it. Okay? Let's just keep it real. All right? And you got Wanye Morris as a backup. Wasn't hard enough to play at Georgia. Unfortunately, he's from here, and he just wasn't that piece of leather that we needed up in Athens. So got a chance to go to Tennessee, and the rest is history. But at the end of the day, when you look at the line across the board, that's going to be the Achilles heel. and especially with the question mark at right tackle, which is the left-handed quarterback's blindside tackle. That's why I find it hard to find 6 wins on the schedule, the offensive line.
We'll get some predictions in later.
Yeah.
What's your take
you mentioned
on the tackle spot, Tobias?
pain for the quarterbacks that are already pretty bad as it is. That's the take I have. But you mentioned Bill Callahan. You mentioned Bill Callahan, and I have to ask, he has got a legendary reputation. I covered him in Nashville when I covered the Titans. I did not see those kind of results. Now, I'm not trying to knock him or disrespect him. I'm just saying I'm starting to wonder maybe he has the game passed him by a little bit because the Titans line was terrible before he got there, and it was terrible while he was there, all the way to him and his son got moved out of Tennessee, which unfortunately also got my boy Rand Carthon run out of the job, but owner of the conversation there. Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
just saying, I'm wondering with that, but I don't have a lot of optimism in the line. And this is a year where that line needs to be good because you do not know what the situation is going to be at quarterback. I don't trust Tua, and I don't trust Penix. I would like to be able to trust Penix, but I don't. And I don't trust this line. That's going to be a major issue, even though I like what they have in the skill positions.
Yeah, this shouldn't be that hard. I mean, you got Bijan Robinson. Okay, he getting the ball. I got Drake London. Guess what? He getting the ball. Yeah. Then if they try to double those two, guess who else getting it? But then Kyle Pitts is getting the ball.
Pitts is wide open on a safety.
Yep.
Right. So it's like 1, 2, 3. We're not playing the West Coast offense. Mirage.
On the ball 5 seconds.
The Falcons will be the best 7-on-7 team in the league, but unfortunately, the game is not 7-on-7.
We should not see a bunch of 9 routes this year. Okay?
No. Get that ball. Give number 7 the ball and then fake it to him and throw it down the field. It's not that. I don't think. The line, y'all. I think y'all underselling them. They were the 12th rated line in the league. So I take anything over the top half of the league.
That's fair.
Playoffs.
That's pro football.
Playoffs with anything in the top half.
And I like how they like to say we've invested all of these number 1 draft picks or these high round draft picks in the offensive line. One of the things about Tua, gets the ball quickly out of his hand, which is going to be key with how this offense is going to have to operate. And just like the bias said, baby, we got to play 7-on-7 this year. That's what we got to do.
I just say if the NFL was a 7-on-7 league, the Falcons would be a top 3 team in it.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, it's 11-on-11.
And you got to run the ball and stop the run to win in this league.
Now, what about Brockemeyer? We'll get to stopping the ball next week. But Brockemeyer's a kid, and they signed Corey Levine. He might have been over at Tennessee with the Titans.
Yep.
He a backup guard, center. I mean, if it goes wrong with Newsel.
Levine's all right. I mean, I think he got a bad rap in Nashville because, to be fair, man, that franchise is pretty awful. And so a lot of people look worse there than they actually are. I think he's a serviceable rotational offensive lineman that you need to put the center of it.
I said he played down to the culture, man.
Hey, man, it's a fact of life.
He played down.
Vrabel had him in the AFC Championship game, but that thing went down fast.
Braves was a good coach there. I almost slipped to say something else, but
we're gonna leave that alone.
That was close.
That was close.
It's first episode, man. I ain't trying to get no trouble yet. We just got started.
Yeah, we got one more break here. So we think the line, this tackle shaky. We're like, hey, mid on the line. I think they play better than we're talking about.
Hey, but seriously, if this is a good offensive line, if they can hold steady at quarterback, you're talking about a team that should be able to compete in this division because Carolina hasn't really shown me anything where I'm like, ooh, I'm so scared of them. Tampa hasn't really shown me anything where I'm worried about them. And New Orleans, I don't really see it for them either. The Falcons can win this division, even though I critique them harshly.
It's going this year more than any of the most recent years, especially the last 2. It's going to come down to coaching. Bottom line. The only reason Carolina beat us last year, we got our coach last year. When you just look at the talent on the rosters, in this division. If you were winning the division on talent alone, we ain't win the division.
Hey, I will say this. Kevin Stefanski did have success with Bill Callahan as his offensive coordinator in Cleveland, which is very difficult to have success in Cleveland. So maybe there's something there. We'll see.
It was Van Pelt. Van Pelt was with him too when he was winning.
Well, true.
So
yeah.
that's a good one. Hey, let's take this quick break and we'll come right back and wrap things up here at the Bowtie Sports.
This episode is brought to you by Niche Vet Reverse Recruiting, built by a 30-year technical recruiting veteran and physical AI insider. Stop sending applications into the void. Niche Vet flips the model. Qualified physical AI employers come to you. If you're ready to stop applying and start getting hired, visit physicalipros.com/reverse recruiting.
All right, reverse recruiting. My guy John Pohill out of Phoenix, Arizona, one of our early sponsors. Hey, before we get out of here, just want to duly note that training camp starts on Friday. The rookies report, the veterans report next Tuesday on the 28th. Next week we'll look at the special teams and the defense here on the Bowtie Sports Podcast. Before we get out, I just want Mike to something I tweeted out today. One of our Mike's nephew is a former defensive back at Stanford in Indiana. He's a free agent, so somebody will need to come sign him.
There you go.
He's in a Canadian League there for a little while. Had an injury, was been home working out, and is available. If we're seeing guys come to camp and not be in shape or injured, you want to look up, get your film on Nick Toomer, Stanford, Indiana. Mike sidelines, Mike's nephew.
Yes,
and we want to get that plug in there for him because I know he's been working hard all this summer. Have you been, you talked to Nick lately there, Mike?
Yeah, I talked to him on my birthday last week. And as I've been telling him from the day he put the pads on the first time, keep grinding. His journey is going to be special. He's having to take the scenic route, as I like to say, to the NFL. But this kid can tackle, this kid can run, this kid can hit, and this kid can read defenses. And all he needs is not a chance, but an opportunity. That's all we have. Give him an opportunity.
All right. Well, hey, let's just make sure we tie this all together for everybody here at bowtiesports.com. We need you all to sign up for the weekly free newsletter. Go to bowtiesports.com and sign up for the Let Better at Large newsletter. That's free. That comes to your mailbox every Thursday at 10 o'clock. We used to have the newsletter called the Dirty Birds Podcast, and my people said, hey, we missed the newsletter. So we brought it back for you. Sign up for it. It's free, and it'll be waiting for you on Thursdays. This is the big one here, too. We need you all to go to YouTube to subscribe and like our YouTube page at Bowtie SG, at Bowtie SG. And you're going to see a Katy Perry video. That's from Peyton Manning's Super Bowl. I haven't figured out how to hide it. And there's also Beyonce video in there, too, if you dig in there. That was from the Houston Super Bowl where I had to get a picture of Beyonce for my daughter. So that's our YouTube page. We're converting it from that, but since it was kind of NFL related, I left it. But we need you to go to subscribe and like the YouTube page. And then lastly, training camp special. The training camp special, you can get the subscribe to the site for the entire year for $27.99. We're going to take the first 100 subscribers and help to build the community and make that our foundation as we move forward. There's also monthly information on the website. You could also join the Bowtie Club, which will be having events and outings around the city once we get up and moving, and we got merch coming. We got all kind of fun stuff coming on the way. But right now we need those three things. We need you to, sign up for the newsletter, like and subscribe on YouTube, and subscribe to the website. So with that, I'm going to ask the guys if they have anything as a parting shot or anything they want to leave you all with before we come back next week and get on top of this defense.
Go ahead and buy
it. Well, first of all, man, thank everybody for tuning in, listening. I really appreciate it. We're gonna grind on here. We're gonna have fun. I'm a little optimistic about the Falcons offense. Very little.
But we will see. Mike.
Yeah, for me, like Led was saying, like and subscribe, rate and review. We need to get our subs up. But what I'm excited about is just to see the Falcons with the second year and what we've done on defense. Now, last year was the first time, and I can't even remember all of the draft picks that we had on defense contributed. We had a kid out of Oklahoma, popping his Achilles. I understand his rehab is coming along fine, but we had some difference makers on defense, and I'm excited to talk about that next week. But we're going to have fun, and we're going to keep it real. And, we're going to give you information and facts about the Falcons. They're going to keep you up to date and informed about what's going on with your team.
No doubt about it. Y'all know y'all going to get the truth over here. That's how we roll. And we're going to keep on rolling it like that. We're just not over there. We're over here. Come on over and stay with us. It's going to be I think it's going to be a good season. Always a good season. I love football, so we're going to be here for y'all.
Well, the Falcons will play 17 games.
Yes, and they're going to Spain, and we want to go with them.
There we go.
Well, with that, let's go
subscribe.
Yeah, go like and subscribe. Do all the thing you like, and we'll be here for you all season long. Hey, guys, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Have a great evening, and for the fans here, have a great rest of your week.